everyone, welcome to Zero Emotions YouTube channel. Today we are going to make a podcast with my friend Yuri. We live in Belarus, yeah. And today I will ask you some questions, yeah. So, Yuri, tell me please, why did you come to Belarus?
Hello. I decided to come to Belarus because I always wanted to live in Europe. And for those who don't know, I was born in Brazil in South America. And we have a different culture. But I considered I always liked the Eastern culture. There was something different from Western European and Eastern European culture. And a lot of things changed from 10 years ago to now. And maybe some of the viewers are aware, if they live in Europe, they know what I'm talking about. And if you come to the east, further east than Poland, which is not part of the European Union, they do not have the same problems like they have, for example, in Germany or in France. So as soon as I came to Belarus, realized immediately that everything I thought was true, my theories about Eastern and Western Europe and the differences and whatnot, are true. For example, here it's everywhere is safe. By the way, we're in Minsk, and the streets are very clean. Um, the prices are not super inflated. It's comfortable to live. There is good transport, good healthcare, and I don't regret coming here at all. To put it
Okay.
in short, that's why.
Okay. Uh, what did you know about Belarus before you come in?
I knew almost nothing. I only knew that Belarus was was a republic within the Soviet Union, and after it gained independence, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was the last republic to leave the Union. Is that right?
Probably no. Kazakhstan was the last one.
Kazakhstan. Okay. Well, okay, then I knew nothing. I also knew probably about Belarus and Mais, that they used to build trucks in the Soviet Union times. Also, electronic watches they made also in Minsk, right, in electronica factory. Not
Yeah.
basically not much.
I
Uh,
was surprised when you came to Belarus and asked me to find you these watches because I don't know, probably wall production, if we talk about watches, was destroyed immediately when USSR, um, mm, how can I say, was destroyed, yeah, after 1991 year. Yeah, and now probably we can find the similar watches in Russia, uh, but in my opinion, these watches are not the same, and quality, um, I don't know, 100 times uh, worse than watches in Soviet Union. So I was interested. Can you tell me the real difference if you talk about cultures? Yeah, you told that Belarus, Russia, okay, the past Soviet republics have different cultures. What's the difference?
between Soviet republics.
No, I mean between United States, European Union countries.
Ah, um, I think that especially today in Western Europe, a lot of things are Americanized. So
Mm.
I don't think this was the things that happened now in Western Europe is not their original culture. It's a reflection of globalization. That is what I think. I don't know if it's true. I just think that there has been a lot of Americanization. What does that mean? It means there is this work culture where people are obliged to always smile, For example, even with no reason, just because it's polite to say, hello, how are you? Did you find what you're looking for, with a smile? And it's obviously a fake smile because probably the worker is getting very low wages to do a terrible job that he doesn't enjoy. And he's also supposed to smile. Of course, it's fake. He doesn't care how your day was, he doesn't care if you found what you're looking for. And that part of the culture is not present in this part of the world. The worker will give you an honest expression that will probably look a bit unhappy or unsatisfied. And if he smiles to you, that is an honest smile. Because nobody's obliged to give you a fake smile anyway. And of that, I have a very funny anecdote of something that I told you about the translator office. That the first time I got here, I didn't speak a word of Russian, and I had to translate some documents. I had to translate my passport into Russian to do some things with the university for documentation, registration purposes.
You told me Russian.
And at the university, there were a couple of girls that spoke English, and they explained to me, okay, all the students do this translation there in this office. You can go there and have the documents translated in this place. So she gave me the address, and I went to this address. But when I got there, there were two workers, and they didn't look very happy to see me. And that was my first surprise, because usually in the West, when someone goes into your business, you're supposed to smile and greet them, and I wasn't greeted as far as I remember. And I just said, with very broken Russian, I would like to have my passport translated. And then I showed her the passport and said, okay, what is this language? And I said, that's Portuguese. And said, oh, I can't help you. So a million thoughts immediately came to my head. What am I supposed to do? What should I do? And then I started to think, and I didn't answer her. But she looked at me, and by the way, she wasn't smiling at all. And I thought maybe she was angry at me because I gave her work. But immediately she went on a computer in the corner, got a list, asked for my personal number, and she sent me a list of all the translation offices, not only in Minsk, but in the whole of Belarus, where I could have my passport translated into Portuguese. All registered places within the Republic of Belarus where I can have my passport officially translated into Portuguese. So what I noticed was people may not smile at you, but everyone will help you. And in the West, maybe people smile, but they're not so eager to help. So I considered it myself that Belarusians are very honest people. They smile at you when they have a reason to smile, but even so, they are kind people. They help you, they don't give you a smile back, but they will help you anyway. So there is this kindness within them. Maybe that is also part of Soviet Republic's cultural style, where
I'm not sure that
Friendly-
Poland doesn't have the same
friendliness amongst. Poland is very westernized now. It's not the same like it used to be 30 years ago.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Poland, as I know you lived there probably 1 year. Yeah,
1 month.
1 month. Okay, then probably it can be so clearly. I don't know how to say it in English, but if we compare living in Belarus and living in Poland, which country will you choose again?
Belarus.
Why?
Before I came to Belarus, I came to Poland first. To test my theory, I was traveling to different countries. For example, I was in Germany, Netherlands, Sweden. Also, Poland was the last country I was into, and it was the further east I ever went. And in Poland, I could notice two things. First of all, it was the first Eastern Bloc country I was ever into, except if you exclude, of course, Eastern Germany, because I was in East Berlin. And I noticed there was some similarities with the Eastern culture, but there is a lot of also westernization. For example, I thought that in Poland everything is a trap to get your money, for example.
I'm sure we have the same situation in Belarus
But
and
there is
westernization.
exacerbated to a ridiculous point. For example, transport is super expensive in Poland. Public transport, trams, and buses. You don't really pay for a ticket. You pay for a ticket on a certain amount of time. If you want to use more than 20 minutes, you have to pay for a more expensive ticket. And it's maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 times more expensive than a ticket here in Minsk, for example. And the transport of school is not as good. And so you think, okay, transport is not good. You could get a car, even though it's really expensive, right? But their parking spaces are very limited and super expensive. So they have this European culture that they don't like cars, but they don't even offer good transportation in exchange. So you have no choice. So it's a trap. In both ways, it's a trap to get your money. They institutionalize the whole system so they could take money from you. And this is not just in transportation, it feels like this everywhere you go. That was my impression, at least. So the eastern part, like cultural aspect of Poland, I really enjoyed. But the administrative part that they took from the European Union, the German way, maybe you can call it, is terrible. I hated it. So that's why I decided I didn't want to live in Poland.
Uh, okay, lots of Belarusian people moved to Poland. Um, then, what do you think? Why? Why lots of Belarusian people moved to Poland?
I know I have met Belarusians when I was in Poland. Especially, there was one woman that I met in Poland, and she was from Minsk. And she told me she came for mainly for work. Wages are better in Poland, I think lower wages. But she told me that Minsk is a lot better to live. The only problem of Belarus, especially now, is because there is not very good salaries, very good employment.
Money.
Money is the problem.
Everybody needs money. Yeah. Then we spoke with my friend in last podcast in Russian. And, he told us if you work in a restaurant, probably you may earn a little bit more than 1,500 Belarusian rubles. So, in my opinion, if we talk about living in Minsk, it's not enough. It's not enough, and you will work more than 10 times every day.
10 hours?
10 hours, yeah, 10 hours every day. Then it's terrible. And one guy from Poland, he wrote a comment, yeah, in to my TikTok channel. He could earn, yeah, he could earn $1,500 in Poland in the same job. So that's a difference. Probably not only one point Poland has to move, probably. But in my opinion, lots of propaganda from European Union bloc. And the most important point is money. Everybody needs to earn more. Yeah. So then, if you have $1,000 here or there, I will choose Belarus also.
Yeah.
Probably, but
If you could get the same amount of money, definitely Belarus. First of all, it's safer, I think. Second,
safer than Poland.
yeah, I think so, because Poland has a lot of immigration already also. They didn't take many immigrants, but there are, if you go to Warsaw, Krakow, Wrocław. I was in all the major cities in Poland, and every single one of them I saw immigrants working there. Not just from Arabic countries, but also from Africa, for example. They are. And Poland did also a big deal. Oh, we didn't take any immigrants. Poland is safe. Well, maybe it was 5 years ago, but things are changing. I don't know how they get in. Maybe they get their cards. I think it's called blue card, right? I don't know, it's a working visa they have. They get it somewhere else in Europe and then they go travel to Poland because there you have good salaries kind of now also. It's a good place. But to be honest, if you can get the same amount of money, definitely Belarus is better. The cost of life is much cheaper here. Infrastructure is a lot better. Especially if you live in Minsk, it's fantastic. It's a very compact city. You can get anywhere in what, 40 minutes, 45 minutes with public transport.
Not 45 minutes, probably 1 hour, but yeah, you're right. Um, so, okay, let's change the topic. I wanted to ask you, what do you do in Belarus, and why did you choose Russian language to study? I don't know. Maybe it's correct.
I always had a fascination with the Russian language and I always wanted to study it. But I tried to study by myself, but Russian is extremely difficult. I could not. I taught myself how to read and write. I listened to some songs, watched movies, but I could never learn grammar. It's very difficult. So I came at a point in my life where I could afford to do this experiment, to follow this fascination I had and put it into practice. So I did a list of all the places I could go to learn Russian language. There were a lot of cities. I had Moscow, St. Petersburg, Yekaterinburg, Nizhny Novgorod, and in Belarus there was Minsk and Grodno were also in the list. And when I did the comparisons of everything, like how big the city is, how expensive it is, Minsk was at the top because of the good infrastructure that they have. Because the city is compact, the transport is cheap, you don't need a car, you can live, well, anywhere and live comfortable. And you don't really, I think you don't need a car. If you live alone, you don't need a car.
It depends on situation. If you live only in Minsk, sure, you don't need a car. But imagine situation if you have a parents in the countryside, probably little bit farther than 100 kilometers from Minsk. What will you do?
Do you do that? Do you go to your parents by car?
No, by train.
So you
But
don't need a car.
it little bit more than 5 hours is terrible
Well,
in my opinion.
you could rent a car for one day or two.
No, it's too expensive. It's too expensive. Did you check the costs?
No, I
Mm,
rented a car in Poland and it wasn't expensive at all. I think I paid like $5 or $6 one a day for a car.
$5? Sure.
Yeah, 5 or 6, maybe 5.50. But of course, I rented it for 1 month, so the cost is a lot less for than one day.
So, was it probably? Mm, I'm trying to count how many dollars you paid
Yeah, I
for what
don't
one.
remember. It was a long time ago. I don't remember.
Okay, $5 a day, and 30 days you had.
Yeah.
Okay, let's speak about languages. Yeah, I know English is not your native language, and how did you learn it?
English?
Yeah, and where?
Uh, we have in school English language, but it's a joke, really. Maybe in most countries, if they are also not native speakers of English, they know that English language at school is almost a joke. They don't really teach you much, and you have to get out of your way and do it. So, my parents put me in a extra school, like a extra activity to learn English. But I think most of them I learned it by myself when I was playing games, watching movies,
Dota 2,
serials.
Counter Strike.
Yeah, all of these things. It helps a lot because we have our culture now is basically Americanized. Everything is Americanized. There's English everywhere. It's very easy to learn English. There's so much material. And basically all the movies we have, serials.
Okay, from 1 to 10, how many points English have if we talk about how to learn it? how to learn language.
What do you mean?
I mean,
How difficult?
yeah, how difficult? From 1 to 10.
10 being the most difficult?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe a 4. 4.
Maybe 4.
English is
Okay,
not
now
difficult.
let's compare with Russian.
Russian is maybe 9. It's definitely a 9. I reserve the number 10 for Chinese, just in case I don't speak Chinese. But Russian is probably it's one of the hardest languages to learn by far. It does not compare. For example, if you really focus, if you live in America or an English speaking country, I think you can learn English and speak on a C1 level maybe, or B2 at least, in at least 6 months. If you study, if you talk on the street, I think 6 months is more than enough. But Russian,
6 months.
6 months is a
6
joke.
months.
6 months you can't. You can't even finish the grammar in 6 months. It's impossible. Russian is extremely difficult. I already studied Russian for more than a year, and I still have B1 level. That's because I work very hard. I speak it every day. I go to every class. I study at home, but I still have a B1 level. It's incredibly difficult. You can speak to a level where people can understand you, but you're gonna speak with a broken grammar. It's not correct grammar. I can't even give examples because English speakers don't have declensions. Declensions, падежи.
Ah.
And
But it has different tenses. Different tenses.
But it's not
in
the
Russian
same.
we have free tense.
Yeah, but in Russian you have 6 different ways to change, not 6, because there is genders also. There is 6 different ways where you change the ending of the word depending on the phrase. And if it's an adjective, there's different rules. And if it's a female word, is also a different rule than if it's a male word. Anyway, it's a mess. It's very difficult to explain. But Russian does not compare. Russian is extremely more difficult than English. It does not compare with English at all. Maybe English compares a little bit to Spanish. I think Spanish is also an easy language to learn. I don't know which one is easier. Maybe Spanish is easier than English.
Probably depends on a person who tries to learn some language. Because for me, English wasn't easy language, yeah. And now I can explain my thoughts, but I can't speak fluently with native speakers, yeah. And I spent even 2 years to understand how language works, to understand grammar. But I have a theory. My theory is so we have a Cyrillic alphabet here in Russia, in Ukraine, in other countries, and another alphabet like Latin. Yeah, for us probably can be a little bit more difficult than, for instance, Polish language. Yeah. Then for us, probably it's not so easy like for you. Yeah. For Spanish people, for instance, for French. Then if we talk about Chinese language, yeah, I think for me and for you, it's the same. Yeah, very difficult. Yeah, I tried to learn Chinese, and I spent probably 3 months. Yeah, and I can say that I know nothing.
In 3 months?
Yeah, in 3 months. But yeah, I have 2 lessons every week, and I should be more consistent, and I need to do my homework or something like this. But English was far easier than Chinese. Yeah, of course. But when I was in the school, I studied English. Not so good as I want now, but
yes, like I said, English in school it's a joke. Really, it's not really serious. You don't really learn.
Depends on the school, probably.
Maybe, Yeah. I know in Europe they study it in schools, but I think they also have access to English a lot more than we have.
Mhm. All right, right. So, can you tell us mm, some pluses and minuses, yeah, in Belarus, in your opinion? Because it sounds a little bit strange when everyone from European Union, from United States, from another world say lots of good words about Belarus, but mm, I want to know more about minuses. What's wrong in Belarus, in your opinion?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, we have an expression, of course, not everything is a sea of roses. Not everything is going to be great. You have to consider your priorities. What is more important to you? To me, the most important is safety, cost, and infrastructure. For me, all these things are fulfilled to the top in Belarus, in Minsk, especially. I have everything I need. I don't need to spend a lot to get what I want. I have a great quality of life and I don't need to spend a lot to have this quality of life. Infrastructure is easily accessible to me. But the things I don't like, especially, is that it's too far from my home and I need to pay a lot to go to my home. For example, I need to take a plane from here to Istanbul.
No, it's not Belarusian fault.
You're saying what's bad for me. For me, this is what's bad. I don't find anything bad really. Maybe the salaries are bad. I consider this bad for everyone, I guess.
Okay.
The lack of
Okay,
good
you think,
employment.
yeah, safe, how can I say it? Okay, you told me lots of things, but does it really matter if you don't have money here in Belarus? Imagine, probably you can earn 1,000 Belarusian rubles a month. If you don't have a flat, what will you do?
If I don't have flat,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I can live with 1,000 rubles a month.
So then probably.
I think I would have to live in one of the dormitories, and then maybe I could live for 1,000 rubles a month. Maybe get a second job. I don't know, something like that. But for me, I don't know. I think it would be fine. Probably not comfortable like I would like, but I would have no problems with it because I have my friends here. I can uh, still walk around, and that's free, by the way. Walk in the parks. We don't have this choice. Um, that's it. Yeah. I mean, I think I will be fine with it. I would just work more, I guess, to get more. We get a second job, work half time on a second job.
All right. How many Belarusian people you know who can speak English?
Oh, who can speak in Belarus?
Yeah.
You?
Oh no, no, not only me.
Who else? Maybe in university some people can speak.
Yeah, of course,
Mhm.
people in linguistic university can
But
speak English.
my friends, none of them.
None of them.
I think yeah, none. I think only you speak the best English of them all.
Okay, can you tell me a story about that period when you didn't know Russian um, as now? Yeah, and maybe something confused you or something like this. So tell me a fun story, some funny story about it.
About the language?
Yeah, not about the language, about the period when you couldn't speak Russian.
Um, mm, Nothing comes to mind right now. Funny situation about the language. There was only this situation with the Office of Translation. Uh,
No, I remember one story when you tried to when you tried to set your credit card in the specific Belarusian bank. Yeah. So let me tell the story for people. When we were in the bank, you created a credit card without the number, yeah, or without the name. as I remember.
Yeah, I don't have my name.
Yeah,
I still
yeah.
don't have it, by the way. I have
Mm.
the card,
And
but there's no name.
in Belarus, we have a digital system. I don't know how to say it in English. YRIP, yeah. And YRIP is a system for payment. I don't know. You can pay for wherever you want. Yeah, and Yuri had a specific case. For no reason, he couldn't use that system. And if you don't have access to Eurip, you can't pay. You can't pay to mobile phone, to how can I say коммуналка in English? Flat taxes,
Yeah, services,
yeah,
public
services.
services that you have to pay.
Yeah, and it was even for me it was so strange. And in that time, it seemed like we couldn't find the approach how to decide that problem, how to solve it. So I was surprised then our digitalization system wasn't work as
Intended.
yeah, yeah. By the way, mm, I've heard it lots of times. Many people in European Union um told me that digitalization systems in European Union and in United States, probably in Brazil also, are shit, totally shit. For example, if I want to pay for my mobile phone, I click some buttons and that's it. If you live in France, I watched one video on YouTube. You can go to the market to buy a specific card, the clean specific field, and so it's so complicated for me. I don't know. I'm young, and I when I was born, I don't remember that things in Belarus. You have to clean in a card, and card will have numbers. That numbers you can put to your phone. Yeah, you can click these numbers, and after that, your bill can be I don't know how to say it in English.
You can fill your account.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe you can tell me something about it.
Well, with this credit card thing, I had problems, yeah, but to be honest, maybe it was half of my fault because when I went to create the account, I also didn't speak good Russian. I maybe
No,
had.
no, no, no. I'm asking about difference between the systems, between digitalization systems.
We have in Brazil, I guess it's pretty good system. Everything is automated for me now with my bank.
Maybe it's problem only in European Union.
Maybe I just have it. Every bill comes to my bank account, and I set it up in a way that it automatically pays the service. For example, the mobile company, they charge my bank account with this amount of money, and I automatically pay for it. It's the same with water, gas. They bill you, and you can check and then pay yourself, or you can set up automatically. So every month it pays by itself. As long as you have money in the account, it's gonna pay by itself. So I have that. I just set it up automatically. I don't even need to look. So in that way, Brazilian system is better than yours because you have to pay yourself, right?
I can set it also.
You can set it also. I think it's a lot more convenient to set it up in a way that. So why do you need to? You don't need to take a photo of the markers, for example, to pay the bill.
What is markers? What is it?
Shurtnikov.
So
For
I don't
example.
need it. I don't need it. I can set it automatically, but I'm not sure. You mean how can I say коммуналка in English?
It's
Flat
services.
bills,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's the bill.
services.
It's services: water, electricity, gas.
Actually, how can I say that side from water service? They count by themselves. I mean, how many Belarusian rubles you need to pay. But so it's interesting case. I think we can set it. We can set it. Probably everything will work.
If I have a complaint, it would be that because it's for me. Well, it's not my flat. I rent a flat, but for me, my landlord always asks me to send the photos of the
What
um,
terrible word, landlord.
landlord. Yeah, he asked me to send the photos of all the measurements so he can do the payment and then he charges me later. He sends me the thing.
As I know, the photo of counters, yeah, the photo of counters we needed uh, to mm, to send to the service, and next month they will count from this value to next.
Right, but shouldn't it be automatic? There should be like a connection where they know immediately and they charge you for it.
How can you know it?
I don't know. In Brazil, it's done
Yeah,
automatically.
not sure about it because uh, the service uh, the service has to know how many um, I don't know, changes. Yeah. Then if probably Brazil has modern counters as
I don't
Belarus
know.
doesn't.
Before we had a worker that went there and checked, but long ago this doesn't happen anymore. Maybe I'm mistaken. I just don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Probably Brazil. It's
If
it's
it's
pretty good if we talk about
if it's
services.
about paying money, we are very good. Yes, we are
Yeah,
very
like
efficient.
United States.
Mm,
So okay,
maybe not like United States.
I know one guy from Germany, and he told me a story. So he wanted to buy a router, yeah, Wi-Fi router, and he called the service. They told him they uh, they told him that mm, they would sell it
Yeah,
in 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Sell it.
Yeah, and sell it and sell it. So what should I do? 3 weeks if my work depends on the internet connection.
Wouldn't he just buy the router himself and say, "Okay, I have it. Come set it up"?
Okay, but I need yeah, and if you call them, they will answer you. Okay, you can wait 2 weeks. So services in European Union are terrible, as I know. I haven't been in Europe, especially Poland, Lithuania, Bulgaria, Romania, lots of countries. Okay, but I've never been in Germany. Probably soon I will go. But the story, um, the story um, looks terrible in my opinion. We in Belarus, I don't remember a case like this. So, and many people told me that Belarus has very good services. If we talk about restaurants, if we talk about I don't know, women's services like
Yeah, beauty
yeah,
things.
yeah, beauty things about. So if you have money, you can call, and pizza will be here in 45 minutes. I'm not sure that Germany has the same service. So if you were, I know we know that you were in Germany, so maybe you can compare.
Well, I was in Germany, but it was 13 years ago. It's a long time. It's not the same. Um, in Germany 13 years ago. Before I thought I wanted to live in Germany because it seemed to have good infrastructure, it was safe. But after I went there maybe 3 times, um, each time for 1 month, the last time I felt terrible there. I just felt, well, This is not like the same. Brazil is better. This is so expensive and not so nice. It's not.
Brazil is better than
I
Germany.
thought so the
No.
last time I was there. It's better to be in Brazil than to be in Germany. It's cheaper there. I can go anywhere I want. I don't have. They are very strict in Germany about everything. There's so many little rules of administration and these things. I don't like it, I guess. And that was my impression.
Yeah, give one example.
Um, I lived with a friend of mine there, and he tried to set something up like I don't remember what it was, but it was a public service. And the whole time I was there, he tried to figure out, and there was so much paperwork, and it was a nightmare for him. And he's German. For him, it was bad. And Germans, they have fun at work, I guess. And yeah, there was also another time when well, this is kind of an anecdote. I was with some friends walking in the street, and their cars sometimes they don't have room to park, and they park on the sidewalk. Because in Germany, apparently everyone there has a car, and they park the cars on the sidewalk. So half of the car is on the street, and the other half is on the sidewalk. So we were walking on the sidewalk until there were cars parked on the sidewalk, and the sidewalk was small. So we had no room to walk. So we went to the road and we started to walk on the side of the road. And then immediately comes a police car and starts to yell at us in German. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, I'm sorry, I don't speak German. And he started to yell at us in English. Why are you walking on the road? And I said, because the cars are parked on the road. I can't walk. It's not allowed. I don't care. It's not allowed to walk on the road. Go to the sidewalk. Okay. And then we had to walk like this between a house and a car. There's almost not enough room because they're strict like that. They don't care. And yeah, so
Okay, okay. Let me tell you one story about one of my friend. She lives in Denmark, as I remember, and one day in a deep morning, probably it was 6 o'clock. Yeah, so the street was empty, absolutely empty, and how can I say, the road for bicycles. Yeah, the road by bicycles. Yeah, and she was walking in the road by bicycles, empty streets, and one old man rode the bike, and he stopped to say her that she was walking in the bicycle road. Why? The street was empty. What's the point? Why? I couldn't understand. But probably if we talk about the rules, Belarusian people could could learn something from Denmark. I don't know how to say it, because if we have a rule, especially if we talk about road of bicycles, I started riding electra scooter, yeah. And now I know what's the point of that rule, because everybody in Minsk can walk in that road. Why you have a specific part of the road, and why aren't you walking here? Why? I don't know. So then maybe in that case, what I told you about my friend in Denmark, it was absurd, but that absurd could be nice in Belarus. I would really appreciate it.
Oh, I don't know. I guess it needs to be a balance. Of course, you don't need to yell at someone because he's walking on the road in the middle of the highway. There's no one. Of course, he's not right, but I think there should be a balance. I don't walk on the bicycle lane. If there is a bicycle lane, I never walk on it. I avoid it. But sometimes when you're like crossing a road or something, you forget, you walk a little bit, but you avoid it. Of course, yeah, you should. You should. It's more for safety reasons because it's not safe.
Okay. Do you cross the road on the red
Never.
signal?
No. Do you know why?
No.
Because they fine you if you do that here. The militia fines you. They do give you a fine. My teacher was fined because she crossed on the red line.
Where?
Next to Rumiantseva. There was I don't know, but there was a red line, but there was no cars. She walked, there was no cars, and she was late, so she crossed on the red line, and the militia came in, stopped her, and he said, "Oh, why are you doing this? You know you're not supposed to." And then when she said where she showed her identification, and then she showed she was working for the university. They were very upset, and they said, "Oh my God, how can you do this? You're a teacher. You're supposed to set an example." So they fined her. I think it was like 40 rubles or something.
Yeah, I guess Belarusian people think about the red signal and about roads rules are important for us. I mean, so then, so I don't know how they found her. It seems strange. Probably
There are cameras in there.
she wasn't lucky. No, not from cameras. But I don't know. Probably. So, okay. Last questions. Can you tell something in Portuguese about Belarus? Looking directly in the camera.
Oh, what can I say?
All right. Probably it's a good point to finish that podcast. Thanks a lot for this. So what can I say to the people who are watching us? Yeah, you can like this video, you can comment this video, and you can support this channel. We will write the links in description, right? Yeah. So bye. See you next time.